Hoi, 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 the people of the interwebs. I say people of the interwebs, I mean my very narrow demographic. Hi guys, how are you doing? Today we're going to be looking at this guy. This is an empty box, but it represents Archecore from Toy Alliance. It's the 1/5 scale Arche-Ymirus Type-03 AY-04R, also known as Mountain's Fury. And we're going to be calling him Mountain's Fury for the rest of this video because that is a mouthful. Nice. It's I was going to say nice box, but I think some of this image is just a little bit blurred, really. Some product shots and all that type of stuff. It doesn't leap off the shelf, but I didn't buy it from a shelf. I bought it online, so I don't particularly care what the packaging looks like. What I care about is this mother of a war rig. Check it out. Isn't this just beautiful? Just this green militaristic truck. Got these big doofers on the front. We'll get more into those in a while. All this armor plating, the smokestacks, the die-cast metal, all these big chonking wheels. It's just Mad Max-tastic. I do have kind of, that's going to come off now. The knives, he's got knives. He's got knives. And you're supposed to plug them in the back, what will become the feet in robot mode in this mode, but my big old fingers don't seem to be managing it, so I've just been trying to find various places of which we can stack them in this mode. To no avail, really. So, he rolls, he's got all this mechanical, there's an obvious axe head on the back here, but if you remove that, yeah, he's got his feet, but the rest of it, I mean, there's a gun here, but like the handle and stuff like that could just be passes whatever, you know, attachment truck gubbins you get anyway. So yeah, underneath cleans up quite well. He's got a few features in this, just fantastic. All the rivets and little armor points and everything are just fantastic. Does have a couple of little wee features. So you can flip these down from the side, and there's some bullets or missiles there. Hey, flap up. Got these engine blocks. So he's got a. For mine, this doesn't seem to want to peg down all the way, so it always leaves a bit of a gap, but that can flip open, and there is a seat inside, and there are like scale figures that come with some of these guys that can fit in that seat, but today for our visual reference we'll be using Skeletor. So if we get Skeletor, we'll put him in a seated position. Unfortunately, I think the peg holes on were these, what are they called, these mega constructs or something like that. Well, it's a little mini Skeletor. I don't think the peg hole on his back matches up in the right place for it to be the peg hole or the peg in the seat of this truck to make a perfect kind of sitting position. I think if you end up seating him in there, his head will be, the peg hole, his head will be over the line it needs to be to actually close. So if we do that, we'll just kind of sandwich him a bit. So yeah, so anyway, so you can fit a figure in there. You can see Skeletor sat down, piloting this thing. It's falling off the peg hole. Never mind. Rides around, and yeah, he's just the moment. He's loose about the hoose, but if you have one of the proper figures, it'll fit in there quite well. And he still, once you've got him jammed in there, he does sit in there quite well. So we'll take, well, leave it in for now. And then, because it's called Mountains Fury, well, I mean, this is for you guys in the comments section today. If you come up with any fantastic ideas of what this guy should be called, if we're going to put him in the world of Transformers, leave a comment below and we'll have a judge of those. So you can pull these out and you can take his Fury out on the mountain by impractically drilling the fuck out of it with the front of his cab. So yeah, he's got these big old drills that come out. He can just bore through. Obviously, that's just, I mean, it's not going to be super effective going through a mountain. I'm not a mountain drilling expert, but I don't think this is going to do shit, really. Which the thought that counts. It looks bloody painful if you were hitting another vehicle with it. Those flap in. So, yeah, he is a converting robot. So he does have a transformation sequence. So we'll remove Skeletor. And we'll remove from the back here, there's a couple of ammo shenanigans. And we'll move these. And we'll take out this section. So he kind of does need the gun to kind of give him a meaningful transformation. Otherwise, that's a bit of a skiddy end to his truck. Doesn't really, and these feet don't really peg into each other, so it wouldn't be much without that gun part. So it is like a, which, you know, an integrated. It's an accessory that integrate. Where's me words, Richard? It becomes part of the machine in the vehicle mode and forms an accessory in robot mode. Integrate. No. I know what the word is, but my mouth is not working its self. Don't worry, I'm not having a stroke. I'm fucking a Transformers review. It's it's not a Transformer. It's not third party because it's its own IP. There you go. That's where we're at with this. I love it. I love it. The companies are kind of coming up with their own fucking unique shit. This is just brilliant. So we're going to transform him. But we're not entirely sure where we will start. So we've started with removing the accessories. So I think after that we get to the arms. The arms kind of come out of this truck mode. They unpeg over here and you kind of have them I can't remember which way. There you go. If it's, I feel like they come out. Like so. Then we have these flaps here, and this is going to twist around and let's see. Yeah. This door is going to open, flip round, go into there. That comes out of the way, like so. I'm going to push the seat up there. we can start separating these pieces. I think the legs are probably the most complex parts here. So the leg, we have a section like so. Let's see, so we can move this flap up there, this flap up there. Entire section here moves around. See, yeah, these flaps you need to spin round. This foot, you join the ties up to make a big sturdy robo ankle, like so. We then move, we get this piece here. I'm trying to think which way around that goes. Feel like it moves around here. The smokestacks move round. Does it go the other way? Okay, so what we'll do is we're going to have a quick look-see on the instructions because we're not hard pampering today. We're just being concise, and we're not making another hour-long video about Transformers. So we're just going to try our best not to. Obviously, when you look at these things, you go, "Well, that ain't much help," because it's going the wrong way around. Right, so and sometimes it's just a case of looking again at the robot mode and going, right, where does this need to be? We kind of think, right now we're thinking that this needs to be over here. madness. That's what it needs to be. This needs to be here. So yeah, you need to try and line up this panel. There's a peg there and there's a peg here, and they both go into, in robot mode, it goes into this slot here. Once you've kind of worked the armature round into the right place, which is not as easy as it sounds like, apparently. All right, we think we're cooking here. So what you basically have to do is you have to collapse this knee down, because you have to pull it out, extend it to get it into truck mode. So we'll show you. I mean, you'll not see, but in theory, so we've got this knee here. It's double jointed, but what you need to do is you need to kind of take it so it all collapses back like so. So that gives you all this room to maneuver in now, and bring this down, bring these smokestacks around, and on this armature you swing the armor plating around and you push that in, and that clicks into place, and that knee goes over there, and this plate here clicks into place. So it's relatively simple. I was just being a dummy. That's and then you can arrange these smokestacks however you like. Then we get onto the middle of the beast. So we flip the whole pilot seat area up. That comes down. And the chest and everything with it should then come into place, like so, and then we can kind of arrange these arms now to be actual arms. There's a hook here that comes up and goes through the doors, or not the doors, or the slit, the viewing slit of the thing, and that pins that in, so that locks that abdomen into place. So spin the thing around, then we get into this, the front of the cab here. You pull that down, that you don't overextend it because that would be rubbish. So yeah, it's just it's this bit is just held on with tension. I don't know why they've not pinned this section, because you think of all the bits of a figure, maybe where the head joint is I want to try and keep relatively intact. Let's see. Yep, so you get that. You basically spin it round so it's facing this way. That can then come back. You arrange the arms right, which hadn't. The collar will pop into place there, and then you can get this head arrangement, and there's a peg in his neck and there's a hole there, and this is quite a, it's used one of those ones where you need to kind of, again, ball joint, peg that into place, peg his head back on. And this is Mountain Fury, or insert fan name of character here. Let me know in the comments. It is robot mode. Is absolutely amazing. This is what I want from modern Transformers. He's got that cool Mad Maxy alt mode. He's got this cool, should we say cool several times? You can kind of move these shoulders pads around as well. This so we can see how amazing he is. He's just this militaristic army figure. Looks like he means business. To me, as we're talking kind of fan character ideas, I think he either looks like some kind of generic auto trooper, or, you know, one of the wreckers. He's just just a member of the wreckers who's just in the back, doesn't really get to do much, carries on. So he's currently got his visor down. He's got this like mono eye thing going on, and then that flips up, and he's got the faceplate and the eyes. It's very kind of Prime-esque face guard and eyes, really, those blue eyes. So, you know, a bit of a Prime fanboy. So he's got stuff. And then that's on the ball joint that we've seen. It can look up really far. He's quite a tall figure. I don't know who he's looking up to, but there you go. You can look down. You can waggle around. There's this big old ratchet joints here. Some of them are a bit stiff, so you just got to be careful because, you know, especially this one here, it wants to kind of take everything with it when you move because it's quite a stiff one. And you've got another ratchet there. Oh, I've missed toys with decent ratchets. I really have. Even though that, like I say, that one's a bit too stiff. Bicep swivel. You've got a double joint there. At that shoulder, he's got a outward motion at the wrist. It spins all the way round, along with him having 3 fingers, main finger, thumb articulation. You know, so he's got his trigger finger operates independently of the rest in the palm of the hand. It's got a wet swivel at the waist. If you unpeg that thing, it'll give him ab crunch. But doesn't really have one when not unpegged. It's got universal ratcheted legs again. I've missed, I've missed that noise. There's not enough figures have a good old clickety clack like that anymore. And then again, big old knee bend. There are sections here in the back of his legs that you can boost out. So I have some boosters. You can boost out to have some boosters. Classic Delafield line there. And then there's a pivot at the ankle, a big old up and down, and one big toe joint. So yeah, it packs the articulation you want in a figure this size, and with that lovely ratchets. So what else has he got? He's got weapons. So he's got his axe. It's just a big old blade that you can kind of have him holding in his hand. It's got one of those, it's got a tab on the side of it, masterpiece styling. The daggers don't really have anything other than just being able to use the friction of the hand to hold them in place. So he's got his old combat daggers, and again, I've not found anywhere meaningful really to put these in robot mode either. So they're cool and all, but it's kind of and there's all kinds of like ports and stuff on him and slots, because there are other things that, like wolves that turn into bikes that also turn into a big arm for him. So he's got like these combination kind of things out there that you can buy, and they'll use all these little tabs and stuff and ports, but none of them you'd think you'd also, and I could just be completely missing something. You think you'd have something for the daggers that go into place. So with this gun, you've got this gubbins here that you can remove, and that can just kind of, there's a tab here, relieve, and you can just kind of tab that there. Love how the engine block has ended up on his back, so he's got this big old streaming out smoke from gasoline going on. Yeah. So this then, here we go, unpegs, unfolds, joins together like so, becomes this big old blaster. You've got these ammo boxes or clips, whatever you want to call them, which is the right way around. I'm not a gun guy, I don't know. it seems to fit either way. So that, here you go, that'll make his blaster, and he'll hold this. Well enough. Hold that there, and then again there's another tab on there that you will be able to get into when you're posing around. We're not going to do it for sake of just speed it along now, because I know we've been talking for a while. So yeah, you can hold the top of that there. This bit here, whatever that's called, of the gun, you can remove that, and you can put the axe head in there to be a bayonet. It's actually quite loose, which is a little bit disappointing, because that just seems a bit. It seems like it'll fall if you're waving it around a bit, which we're going to be waving it around a bit, aren't we now? That's it. But yeah, I am just thoroughly impressed with it. He is an auto trooper, a wrecker, just a cool. There you go. See, axe is on the floor. Cool, generic war Autobot. Right, you know, we've just made these guys to try and actually fight back against the Decepticons. We've got some Autobots who are dedicated to war. He is a bit of a roadbuster, you know what I mean? But he's not roadbuster. He's got some roadbuster colours, but he's definitely not a roadbuster. Yeah, size comparison. So if we're going to compare him to your standard deluxe class Transformers Kingdom Earth Mode Sideswipe, yeah, so he's a big guy if you're going to be putting him with your chug-a-lugs. Yeah, sometimes I don't think I hold these long enough. But, you know, we're learning. We're not learning. Because, you know, obviously everyone wants to put him with a Marvel Legend figure, especially with the likes of the Hood, Sans Hood, but with the Autobot Matrix of Leadership. Yeah. With your standard, or your classic G.I. Joe figure scale, not to be confused with a classified G.I. Joe scale. Everyone's favourite accountant, it's Raptor. And missing. Oh no, it's this guy. Not this guy again. Oh, it's Fisto, Eternia's vape champion, big hand, fancy mustache, pretentious. If he wore jeans, they'd be the skinny jeans. I'm just saying. He'd squeeze himself in there. But I think, for me, this guy is going to go with my TFC. Is it TFC? Yeah. The G.I. Joe Optimus Prime. I think he makes a really cool little soldier for him. Yeah, that's the start of a really good kind of team of Transformers. All got these kind of. Is it a similar style? Maybe not a similar style, but they've all got those like tampographs on them that make you think, well, why have you got tampographs on them? It makes them look like you're a robot and not a robotic life form. But, you know, lots of humans have writing on them. Just go around. It's true. You just go, you know what? I'm just going to go to the tattoo decalist and get AY-04R tattooed on me. Is that so, Mountain Fury? Yes, I am. Cliff Rager. How do we like that? Yeah, again, it's a high recommend. This is, to me, brings me back to getting the first third party Transformers, which for me was Clumpo from Fans Project, and going, wow, this is just so different from everything else. And I think having a company that's going, well, we're just working on our own IP and just doing our own thing, and if it fits in with Transformers, then fair enough, it'll fit in with Transformers. And I think, I did buy this one over the original one, the grey Archecore, because the head sculpt was just too alien for me to really consolidate it with any of my other figures. But this guy is, this head sculpt and the little mono eye visor and stuff like that is just perfect. And the colour scheme, I just really like it. And this is my kind of where I want figures to come from. But anyway, I've been me, you've been you, maybe, if you've reached it this far. Until the next time, be excellent to each other. Party on, dudes, and because you deserve it, let's bump fists, shall we? My very narrow demographics. Bisto! Fisto!